Okay, so one of the foundational pieces of consumer theory is looking at how budget constraints change with different market shocks. That is an extremely important first step when it comes to analyzing things like substitution and income effects. So we want to make sure we really understand these budget constraints. So let's look at a scenario when just prices change, not income, versus a scenario when just income changes, not prices. So this is a budget constraint, and as you might recall, the function for a budget constraint is just that I naught equals the price of X times X plus the price of Y times Y. And when we're in a world with dues as a composite good, dues is always that good Y, and the price is always $1. So in this case, we're looking at pizza being good X and dues being good Y. And so the shape of this budget constraint is dependent on if you spent all your money on dues, that initial income, divided by, in this case, the $1 price, or if you spent all your money on pizza, that initial income divided by the price of pizza. And so what we want to look at is what happens when, first, let's do a price of pizza going up in purple. Okay. If you spent all your money on dues, the price of pizza going up isn't going to influence your income level, and it's not going to influence the price of dues, which is always just $1. But if you spend all your money on pizza and the price of pizza went up, you can actually have less pizza because that denominator is going to be a larger number. And so this is why when prices increase, you get a rotation inward of that budget constraint. We'll call this BC, maybe arrow going up for an increase. And it's because that price, that income level remaining the same divided by that new higher price creates a scenario where if you spent all your money on pizza, you couldn't have as much pizza. Now, let's do the same thing when the price of pizza actually goes down, say it's on sale. Well, now if you spent all your money on pizza, you can have more slices, but if you spend all your money on everything other than pizza, you're unaffected by this analysis. So this is why that budget constraint rotates, not shifts out. So that's that scenario. So let's do the same thing over here when it comes to income increasing. Okay, so let's start with an income decrease. Okay, if you lose your job, if you spend all your money, this was I naught divided by $1 and I naught divided by the initial price. If you spend all your money on dues, if your income has gone down, maybe because increased taxation or because you lose your job, you can have less dues. And if you spend all your money on pizza, you can also have less pizza. And so that's why it shifts. But because the price ratio or the slope of the budget constraint is the price ratio, neither the price of dues or the price of pizza has changed. And so it's the same shape. I'm going to attempt to do this free-handed as it was before. So it shifts that budget constraint out. Conversely, if you have an income increase, then what's happening there is if you spend all your money on dues, you can have more dues. Or if you spend all your money on pizza, you can have more pizza. But the shape of the curve or the line remains the same because the prices have not changed. So this is BC, maybe increase for price, for your income level increasing. So that's why for an income change, you get these shifts, but for a price change, you get the rotation. It's really important that you nail these differences so that when you analyze a market shock and you go to find that substitution and income effect, you can get reliable results because everything's based upon your predictions about what happens when these two scenarios occur. So make sure you check out that and some of the other Chapter 6 videos.